Hey guys, welcome to Gizmo Times. This is Chetan and this is the comparison of the three great phones in the mid-range category: the Honor 9i, the Moto G5s Plus and the Xiaomi Mi A1. These phones differ a lot when it comes to what they offer, and they differ with the pricing as well. The Honor 9i is the latest one to come into the Indian market with the price tag of Rs 17,999. The Moto G5s Plus on the other side comes with the price of Rs 15,999 for the 4GB RAM variant, and the Xiaomi Mi A1 is priced at Rs 14,999. Let's compare the three popular phones that are going to be among the choices if you're looking for a decent phone in the price range of Rs 15,000 to 20,000 rupees. Firstly, let's start with the design. Each of the phones here has a unique design which is rather good to see, but it starts the confusion already. While the Moto G5s Plus seems the most comfortable to hold, the phone has a major bump on the back for the cameras. When it comes to the design and comfort to hold the phone, it is the Moto G5s Plus that should get our vote. But then the camera bump pushes it to the second place while the Mi A1 becomes the leader. Interestingly, the Honor 9i stays close to the size of the other two phones even though there's a larger display. But then in the end the Mi A1 seems to be a better phone to hold in the hand. Next is the display. Thanks to the better resolution and that aspect ratio, the display on the Honor 9i with the 1080x2160 pixels is sharper when compared to the other two. Also, a larger display size adds to the goodness of it, but there's no particular protection offered to the screen when compared to the scratch-resistant Gorilla Glass 3 on the Mi A1 and the Moto G5s Plus. With regards to the display quality and the brightness, it is the Moto G5s Plus that has a better sunlight legibility, but the color output seems to be better on the Mi A1 and then on the Honor 9i. Also, it is worth a mention that the 18:9 aspect ratio on the Honor 9i gives the users a better user experience while gaming or while using some apps. Next is the hardware or the performance. Two phones have the same processor, the Snapdragon 625 on the Moto G5s Plus and the Xiaomi Mi A1, while the Honor 9i has the company's own chipset, the Kirin 659, which is also an octa-core chipset clocking at 2.4 GHz. While it might seem that the Snapdragon chipset should do well, all the three phones seem at par when it comes to the general performance or the interface navigation. But when it comes to gaming, it is the Mi A1 over the other two. While playing high-end games on all the three, it was noticed that the Honor 9i and the Mi A1 were able to keep it cool without any excessive heating. On the other side, the Moto G5s Plus was a bit warmer, though performing better than the Honor 9i. There were a few lags that were noticed on the Honor 9i while gaming with games like the Asphalt 8. As for the internals, we see a similar combination, that is 4GB of RAM and 64GB internal storage. And all the three offer a storage expansion with the microSD card slot, that is on the hybrid SIM tray. Next is the cameras. One of the major aspects in this price range is the cameras, where the companies have pushed a lot and worked a lot to offer the dual lens camera combination on all the three smartphones here. But interestingly, the Honor 9i has 4 cameras on the device with 2 cameras on the front and 2 on the back. The Honor 9i has a 16 megapixel plus 2 megapixel combination on the back. The G5s Plus on the other side has two 13 megapixel cameras, and the Xiaomi Mi A1 has two 12 megapixel cameras. The functionality is a little different though, as the Xiaomi Mi A1 secondary camera offer up to 2x optical zoom, and the ones on the other two phones are for the depth sensing and helping in the background blur or bokeh. To add to the specs, the flashlight on the Honor 9i is a single LED light, while the other two phones have a dual LED dual tone flash for far more natural brightening of the object in low light conditions. In bright conditions and the regular shots in that, the Honor 9i does a better job, but the portrait mode or the bokeh is better on the Mi A1. In most of the cases that we have seen. The Moto G5s Plus is good with the regular captures, but it doesn't do any justice in blurring the background even though there's a 13MP camera given for that job. In the low light camera performance, the Moto G5s Plus is a straight away winner, not just because of the bigger aperture that reduces the noise, but also because the details are pretty much well retained when compared to the other two phones. Also, to add to it, the 2x zoom is an advantage that the Mi A1 has over the other two phones. When we talk about the video recording, only 1080p videos are possible with the Honor 9i, while the other two phones can record 4K videos, and all the three phones lack any stabilization. When it comes to the front-facing camera, it is the Honor 9i that wins clearly. A dual lens camera combination where a 13 megapixel camera is supported by 2MP1 for the depth sensing, and there's a well done job with the bokeh effects here. To add to that, there's also a soft flashlight on the front of both the Honor 9i and the Moto G5s Plus for the low light selfies. When compared to the Honor 9i, the two phones don't have a considerably bad quality when it comes to selfies, but they are not really as good as the one on the Honor phone. Next, moving on to the battery life. In the age where some mid-range phones easily carry a 4000 mAh battery, the three phones here seems to have got a lesser capacity, as they tend to rely on the chipset optimization to drain lesser battery and to keep up with the slim profile of the phones. For the numbers, there's a 3340 mAh battery on the Honor 9i, there's a 3000 mAh battery on the Xiaomi Mi A1, and a 3000 mAh battery powers the Moto G5s Plus. When it comes to the battery performance, each of them seems the same with the final battery life, as the screen on time comes to over 4 hours and they last during the day with a single charge. But since there is a fast charge support offered on the Moto G5s Plus, this is a good feature for it. The Mi A1 and the Honor 9i support a maximum of 5-way 2-way, and that is not as fast as the standard supported by the Moto G5s Plus. There are a few other points to consider as well. Firstly, with the IR blaster which is present on the Mi A1, and also the USB Type-C connectivity that is present only on the Mi A1, and these two features are lacking on the other two phones. The fingerprint sensor is located on the front of the Moto G5s Plus, while it is on the back on the other two phones. It is the Android Nougat OS on all the phones, and all the three seem to be getting the Android Oreo update later on. But then the Honor 9i has an EMUI custom ROM with a completely different look and a user experience when compared to the stock Android interface on the Moto G5s Plus and the Xiaomi Mi A1. Also, it is worth noting that there is no gyroscope given on the Honor 9i, which is one of the sensors that should have been included in the device. The Moto G5s Plus lacks a notification LED light, and it relies on the Moto display for the notifications. So these were the other few points to consider, and here's the final verdict. Every phone in this comparison has its own advantages and disadvantages, and thus there's no clear winner in all the aspects. But when we are talking about the actual performance, it should be the Moto G5s Plus winning it over the other two, and even in the low light conditions, camera performance. The Honor 9i should be your choice if you want a bigger display but then you don't want to have a bigger size of the phone. And also if you want a complete decent set of cameras, but the Mi A1 should be your choice if you are considering a neat display and a very well functioning rear camera combination, which not only does a proper bokeh but also helps in the 2x zoom. It is a mixture of choices, and if you are looking to buy one of these phones, you should be choosing based on your requirements, because there's no clear winner when it comes to these three phones, and there's also a difference in the price as well. So this was the comparison between the three smartphones in the mid-range category: the Honor 9i, the Moto G5s Plus, and the Xiaomi Mi A1. I hope you like this video and share it, and also subscribe to Gizmo Times for more. Thank you for watching.